So today we are going to discuss about vegetables and fruits. As you all know, fruits and vegetables are fresh part of plants which are consumed as such or in the cooked form. More than 10,000 plant species are available worldwide, which is used for production of vegetables and consumed in different part of the world. These vegetables provide essential nutrition through different required minerals, dietary fibers, fats, vitamins, proteins, carbohydrates, and energy. Fruits of perennial trees are not considered to be vegetables. Ripe seeds are also excluded, for example, peas, beans, cereal grains, etc. Fruits include true fruits and spurious fruits, as well as seeds of cultivated and wild perennial plants. Commonly classified as pomaceous fruits, stone fruits, berries, tropical and subtropical fruits, hard-shelled dry fruits, and wild fruits. We will discuss about all of them in detail later on. Vegetables are generally classified in different groups, including mushroom, which is nutritious fungus and it is consumed either in the form of steamed, fried, dried, pickled, or salted. Varieties of mushrooms can be produced, including, as for example, button mushroom, milky mushroom, oyster mushroom, flats, truffle, wood ear mushroom, etc. There are varieties of mushrooms which are consumed all over the world. Second group includes algae. Seaweed is varieties of seaweed is its example. Other algae includes sea lettuce, sweet tangle, etc., which are either eaten raw in the form of salad or they are used in the cooked form for preparation of vegetables or soups. Next group includes rooty vegetables, which are usually a long or round-shaped taproot. This group includes beetroots, carrots, and radish, which are mostly consumed in the raw form as salad, or also they can be cooked in the form of vegetables. This group also includes white Irish potato, which are basically used after cooking in the form of fried or deep fried in many forms. Next group includes tuberous vegetables, which are grown underground on the root of a plant. This group includes sweet potatoes and cassava, which are mostly used after cooking, frying, or baking in various forms. Next group includes vegetables of bulbous rooty in nature. They grow just below the surface of the ground and produce a fleshy, leafy shoot above ground. Bulbs usually consist of layers or clustered segments. For example, garlic and onion, which are obviously consumed in the raw form in salad, or they are also cooked for different vegetables or used for seasoning of vegetables. Next group includes stem vegetables, in which edible stalks of the plants are used. For example, bamboo shoots. They are mostly used after cooking, either in the form of salad or also in the form of pickles, etc. Next classification is based on edible parts. This include leafy vegetables in which edible leaves of different plants are consumed. For example, cabbage, which is also consumed in the raw form as salads. This group also includes spinach, and these are used only after cooking. Next group includes flower head vegetables, in which edible flowers of certain vegetables are consumed. For example, cauliflower and broccoli. They are used after cooking in the form of vegetable, soup, salad, etc. Next group includes seed vegetables, which are also known as legumes, and they are usually obtained from pods. So, pod is sometimes eaten along with the seed, obviously. This group includes green beans, green peas, etc., which are mostly cooked in the form of vegetable. Next group includes fruity vegetables, in which vegetable fruits which are fleshy and contain seeds are consumed after cooking. This group includes capsicum, pumpkin, especially these two are used as a vegetables and consumed after cooking, whereas cucumber and tomato belonging to this group are used either as a salad or also in different forms like puree, vegetable, pickles, etc.
Right.
Now let us see general composition of vegetables, which varies significantly depending on cultivar as well as origin of that vegetable. We will see different constituents of vegetables. You know, vegetable contains very high amount of moisture, which may range from 80 to 90%. So dry matter content will be very low. As for example, dry matter will contain only 10 to 20% part of that vegetable. But in that vegetables, some tubers and seed vegetables are containing high starch content. So their dry matter content will be increased. Next constituent is nitrogen compounds, which varies between 1 to 3% only, out of which 35 to 80% is basically of protein and rest in the form of amino acids, peptides, and other compounds. Protein fraction consists of enzymes which may have either beneficial or detrimental effect on processing. These enzymes may contribute typical flavor or to formation of undesirable flavor which is not accepted in the product. Even tissue softening and discoloration have been observed. Enzymes of all the main groups are present in different vegetables. Next constituent which is important is carbohydrate, and the amount of carbohydrate ranges between 3 to 20% depending upon type of different vegetables. Predominant sugars include glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Starch is in the form of storage carbohydrate and is present in large amount in some roots and tuber vegetables, whereas other polysaccharides are also present in different vegetables. These include cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectins. You should know that pectin fraction has a distinct role in tissue firmness of vegetables. Lipid content of vegetables are very low, which ranges between 0.1 to 0.9%, and lipid content of different vegetables include triacylglycerols, glycolipids, and phospholipids. Even carotenoids are occasionally found in large amount. Organic acids include malic and citric acids. Content of free titratable acids ranges between 0.2 to 0.4 gram per 100 gram of fresh tissues, and pH ranges between 5.5 to 6.5 because of presence of these organic acids. Mineral content is also very low, that is only 1% in the vegetable. Main mineral content of vegetables include potassium, followed by calcium, sodium, and magnesium. Major anions include phosphates, chlorides, and carbonates. Even secondary constituents, including vitamins, flavoring compounds, and dietary fibers, are present in different vegetables in different amounts. Plant pigments, other than carotenoids and anthocyanins, for example, chlorophyll and betaline, are of great importance in different vegetables. Now let us discuss about storage of different vegetables. This varies greatly and depends mostly on type and quality of the different vegetables. As for example, leafy vegetables, in which lettuce, spinach, etc. are included, along with beans, peas, cauliflower, cucumber, asparagus, and tomatoes, have limited storage time, whereas roots and tuber vegetables, as for example carrots, potatoes, kohlrabi, turnips, red table beets, celery, onion, and late cabbage cultivars, can be stored even for months, but the condition is they must be kept in cold storage at high air humidity, that is ranging between 80 to 95%. One problem is that there is weight loss ranging from 2 to 10% during cold storage of the vegetables. Even ascorbic acid and carotene contents are found to be reduced during storage. Starch and protein degradation also occurs, and free acid content of vegetables, specifically cauliflower, lettuce, and spinach, has been observed to rise during storage. Now let us talk about classification of fruits. First group includes pome fruits. For example, apple and pear belong to that group, which can be consumed either in the fresh form, or they can be dried for increasing its shelf life and storage. Even they can be consumed in the form of different products like brandy, jelly, juice, apple cider, vinegar, brandy, and puree, etc. Next group includes stone fruits. Under this group comes apricot and peach, which are mostly consumed as fresh in the form of juice, brandy, dried, jam, juice, etc. Next group includes berry fruits. For example, blackberry, strawberry, raspberry, gooseberry, and grapes come under this group, which can be consumed either fresh or different products like jam, jelly, wine, liquor, brandy, etc. are also prepared from them and consumed later on. Next group includes citrus fruits, for example, orange, grapefruits, lemon, etc., which are mostly consumed as fresh juice, marmalade, etc. Next group includes other tropical or subtropical fruits. For example, pineapple, banana, avocado, date, guava, mango, watermelon, papaya, etc. come under this group. And these fruits can be consumed either fresh or in the form of juice or other products, jam, jelly, etc. can be prepared from these fruits. Next group includes shell fruits. Under this group comes cashew nut, peanuts, almond, pistachio, and walnuts, which can be consumed mostly in the roasted form. Pistachio, walnut, etc. can be consumed even in the fresh form, and they are used for preparation of different baked product as well as confectionery products. Next group includes wild fruits, in which rose hips, sea buckthorn, and elderberry are under this group, which are used for preparation of jam, juice, wine, etc. General composition of fruits strongly is influenced by its variety and ripeness. Under this, first of all, we will discuss about dry matter of different fruits, which ranges between 10 to 20%. And under this dry matter, major constituents include sugar, polysaccharides, and organic acids, while nitrogen compounds and lipids are present in very minute amount. Minor constituents like pigments and aroma substances, which are responsible for organoleptic qualities, vitamins and minerals, which are responsible for nutritional importance, are there. Nitrogenous compounds are present in very less amount, ranging from 0.1 to 1.5%, of which 35 to 75% is basically protein in nature. Protein fraction varies widely depending on fruit variety and ripeness, and most of this fraction are primarily enzymes. Free amino acids are widely distributed and are on an average 50% of the soluble nitrogen content. A number of aliphatic and aromatic amines are found in various fruits. Sugars. Glucose and fructose are mainly present in various ratios in different fruits. Sucrose is dominant oligosaccharide present in different fruits. Fruits like cherry, grapes, and figs do not contain any amount of sucrose. D-sorbitol, which is the sugar alcohol, is most abundant in pome and stone fruits, but are absent in berries, citrus fruits, pineapple, and banana. All fruits have cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectins. Pectin fraction of fruits are specially affected by ripening. Starch is present mainly in unripened fruits, and generally its content decreases to a negligible level as ripening proceeds, with the exception of bananas. Lipids. Fraction consists of mainly triacylglycerols, glyco and phospholipids, carotenoids, triterpenes, and waxes. Presence of carotenoids is widespread in many fruits, and in citrus fruits and peaches, main factor is determining the color. Presence of carotenoids forms the basis of fruits classification. Triterpenoid fraction contains bitter compounds, for example, limonoids and cucurbitacins. Fruit peel is often coated with different waxy layer. Organic acids. L-malic acid and citric acid are the major organic acids present in fruits. Malic acid is predominant in pome and stone fruits, while citric acid is present in abundant amount in berries, citrus, and tropical fruits. Tartaric acid also occurs in grapes only. Phenolic compounds occur in most fruits and most of them contribute to color and taste. They can form complexes during processing, resulting in discoloration of fruit pulp. Next constituent is vitamins. Many fruits are important sources of vitamin C. Pantothenic acid and biotin are present in citrus fruits, figs, blackcurrant, vitamin B12, vitamin D, and tocopherols are also found in trace amounts only. Minerals, most important cations are in the form of potassium ion, and most important inorganic anions are in the form of phosphate ion. Now let us see physicochemical changes during ripening of fruits. Fruits continue to undergo chemical changes after harvest until finally spoilage occurs. Ripening of fruits involves highly complex changes in various chemical as well as physical properties. There are quite a number of intricate changes taking place in complex biochemical system. Most striking changes related to ripening are here. We will discuss about these changes. Cell wall constituents are profoundly modified during ripening, leading to softening. Buildup of other cell constituents like starch and sugar are affected along with the disappearance of astringent compounds, which ultimately lead to increase in the sweetness. And third is formation of flavor and aroma compounds, as well as changes in color due to breakdown of green chlorophyll pigment, whereby the yellowish color pigment of the shows up. The changes taking places include, first one is changes in respiration rate. Respiration rate is affected by the development stage of different fruits. A rise in respiration occurs with growth. This is followed by a slow decrease in respiration rate until the fruit is fully ripened. In a number of fruits, ripening is associated with a renewed rise in respiration rate soon after picking until it reaches a climax known as climacteric respiration. It is followed by a steady decrease in respiration rate, that is senescence. Depending on fruits, this can occur before and after harvesting. Maximum carbon dioxide production occurs in the climacteric stage. Climacteric rise is so specific that fruits can be classified into climacteric fruits and non-climacteric fruits. Climacteric fruits include apples, banana, pears, mango, papaya, and tomato, whereas non-climacteric fruits include pineapple, oranges, strawberry, grapes, and lemon. Non-climacteric fruits generally ripen on plants and contain no starch. Now we will discuss about changes in metabolic pathways. Metabolic shift may occur in several fruits during ripening. For example, during ripening of banana, it appears that Embden-Meyerhof pathway, also known as glycolysis, becomes dominant, and pentose phosphate pathway is suppressed during ripening. Now, changes in individual constituents of fruits. First one is carbohydrate. During ripening, significant changes in carbohydrate fractions has been observed. Green fruits have abundant amount of starch and less soluble sugars. On ripening, starch decreases while sugar content increases, giving ripe fruit its sweetness. It has been assumed that sugars are produced at the expense of starch and other sugars, which are available for conversion. A decrease in hemicellulose during the ripening of banana suggests that they can be also a possible source of sugars. Additionally, organic acids may also be possible source. Another change in fruits is alteration of texture of the fruit. Softening of fruit tissue is associated with changes in pectin fraction. Insoluble protopectin is transformed into soluble forms, which decreases the rigidity of the matrix. Additionally, a reduction in degree of methylation and degree of polymerization of pectin is observed in fruits, for example, banana, citrus fruits, mango, melons, etc. All these together contribute to an increase in softness of the ripe fruits. Soluble pectin binds polyphenols and thereby quench their astringent effect and contribute to mild taste of the ripe fruits. Next constituent is protein. During ripening of some fruits, although total nitrogen content is constant, an increase in protein content is observed, mainly due to biosynthesis of enzymes. During ripening, a shift also occurs in amino acid and the amine fraction. These shifts are not uniform and are affected by type and ripening stage of fruits. Next important constituent is lipid. Little is known about changes in lipid content of the fruits. Changes have been found in composition and quantity of lipids, specifically in phospholipid fraction. Next is acids. There is a reduction in acid content of fruits during ripening. Exception is lemon. There can be changes in proportion of various acids. In ripe apples, malic acid is major acid, while in unripe ones, quinic acid is major acid. In many fruits, synthesis of ascorbic acid takes place during ripening. Next is pigments. Ripening of fruits is accompanied by a reduction in color. Transformation from green to other colors is due to the degradation of chlorophyll and the consequent appearance of the concealed pigments. In some fruits, the change is more due to synthesis of other pigments. For example, lycopene content of tomatoes greatly increases during ripening. Next is aroma compounds. Formation of typical aroma compounds occur during ripening. In bananas, noticeable amounts of volatile compounds are formed 24 hours after climacteric stage has passed. Aroma buildup is affected by external factors, for example, temperature and day-night variations. Next is Water. Living parts constantly transfer water to the surroundings. This loss of water results in visible shriveling of the fruits. When fruit is plucked, water flow into fruits is discontinued, even though water loss continues. This loss is high because of high temperature and dry atmosphere. This water given off through physiological forces that remain active even after harvesting is called transpiration. Water is also formed due to respiration. Most of this water is removed through evaporation along with readily accessible surface water. Some fruits have waxy layer on the skin to check the loss of water. That's all about fruits and vegetables. Thank you. Thank you very much.